Yo, what's good, everyone? This is Ayo Boxing with Madiba, and this is a post-fight reaction of the Shobox Card, Hemphill versus Stevens. So the first fight of the night was Julian Gonzalez versus Rosalindo Morales at 130. This was a short fight that Gonzalez won by TKO. Gonzalez's power in his right hand is what won him the fight. He kept on letting that straight right hand, that southpaw killer on Morales. Morales was dropped and at the end of the first round, and he couldn't make the necessary adjustments because he kept on getting hit by that same right hand. Morales was also lunging in a lot, and his head was on the line, so it made for an easy target for that right hand. Gonzalez was well prepared to fight a southpaw, which impressed me, and I'm interested to see where he goes next. The second fight was Atif Overton versus Artem Brusov at light heavyweight, and I heard about Overton before, and this was my first time seeing him fight. I knew that he had a decorated amateur um career, but I was impressed. Overton had an active jab and lead hand the whole night, and he did seem a little bit stiff in the first round, and Bruceoff was able to close the distance in the early rounds, landing that overhand right several times and that left hook. But once Overton started boxing on the outside and utilizing that reach that he had, he was able to find his distance and began landing that left hand. And after that, the fight became one sided. I mean, Overton was landing that left hand in all types of ways. Straight left hand, going to the body, uppercut, a left hook, doing all types of stuff with that left hand. I mean, yeah, Bruceoff did have some early success closing the distance, but once Overton found his distance and utilized that range, Bruceoff's success by closing the distance like diminished all the way. I mean, he kept on pressuring, but it just didn't have the same success. He was able to land that overhand right on Overton a couple times, but Overton would block the majority of that right hand. Overall, I was impressed by Overton. He has good skills, a sturdy chin, good power, and this was a good test for him. I want to see more of him. And the main fight was Sean Hemphill versus David Stevens at super middleweight. Now, this was a good fight, close, competitive. I enjoyed watching this fight. Hemphill was the boxer in this fight, while Stevens was the puncher. The ring size benefited Stevens because it was small, which didn't allow Hemphill to stick and move as much, and made it easier for Stevens to pressure him. Hemphill utilized a good jab and movement in early rounds, but Stevens' explosiveness allowed him to land and close the distance. And once Stevens started using his jab to close the distance, the dynamic of the fight changed. Hemphill became more stationary as the fight progressed, and he changed from a boxer to a boxer puncher. This led to more exchanges that favored Stevens, but Hemphill was able to win some rounds and have success. Despite that, both boxers became tired in the last two rounds, and the fight turned into an absolute slugfest. I mean, both these guys were laying on each other, dead tired, fighting in a phone booth, fighting on the inside. It was great back and forth action. However, Stevens' power prevailed at the end. He was able to drop Hemphill with a flurry of punches in the last 20 seconds, and then knock out Hemphill with a left hook in the final seconds of the fight. Overall, it was a great fight. Stevens definitely needs he definitely needs to work on some things. His conditioning needs to be better before he steps up in competition, because there's killers at 168. But I was also impressed. I mean, pretty much impressed by everybody on this card. I thought it was a great card, and I think Showbox should just keep on doing what they're doing with this. Hopefully, Hemphill could come back and bounce it back, but we'll have to see. But who knows? This is boxing. Anything can happen. But thank you for tuning in with Ayo Box with Madiba. Hit like and subscribe, and more content's coming your way.